what a day today. Like, oh my God. It reminds me of we need to have emotional intelligence as investors, right? And we need to remind ourselves of specific events that have occurred in the past. Like, look at last March as an example. Remember that when Corona started, the virus, and everything was just going down, oil, every sector, left, right, and center, you know, but eventually there started being an up. There was a bottom, we hit it, and the trajectory changed and we started going up. And I really think that we're at that point now, and we're going to go on the way up. But we need to remind ourselves: what goes up must come down, and what comes down must go up, right? And we're not going to have gains every single day. It's okay to be red a day, but we want to be green more days than Sunday, right? So you know, have the emotional intelligence, do your DD, and if you do enough of your DD, you're going to believe in what you're buying. And when you believe in something, you know, there's going to be a lot of power to that. It's going to help with your emotional intelligence. So again, as investors, we need to remember, have that emotional intelligence. Now, before we continue our conversation here, I would like to say that this is all my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not what I do as part of my day job. I just love stocks, and I love talking about the market. I love educating people, and I love giving people the tools necessary to take that guess and make it into a hypothesis. So without further ado, I want to talk about a couple things here on the market today. Well, there, I mean, it dipped all the way down to $6 a share. Now, I think that comparatively speaking, this particular stock has the ability to go to up to $30 to $40, but not every single day is it gonna make the strive to get there, right? We're gonna have some downs, but we're also gonna have some gains. And over the next little while, once the company starts releasing more news, not just the video that we've already seen, I think that the stock, comparatively speaking, with the Bitcoin price, will have a lot of volatility and it will continue to go, treading upwards. Now, I would like to show you, if we take a look at our screen here, I have four tickers on the ballot here. I have Riot, I have Mata, I have Mogo, and SOS. Okay, so the candles are going to be SOS, and as you can see, the more the one we can compare closest, I would have to say would have to be either Riot or Mogo. Mogo, was down around $4 mark not too long ago, and as you can see, given with the trajectory with Bitcoin, you know SOS is going to have the same trajectory as these. Now remember, this company is growing. They're going to release news at the at the middle of March, as well as at the beginning of April, that's going to make them one of the largest Bitcoin miners in the world. And if we follow these comparative, analysis here on these charts, we're going to be able to see the massive gains. Now, there's always going to be companies out there that want to make money on both ends, whether that's shorting the stock as well as gaining on the stock. And they'll release the reports necessary in order to manipulate. But as investors, that's why it's important to always have that due diligence. And be careful in who you listen to on those groups out there, because those groups, there's always someone there designed to go against you in some shape, way, or form, no matter how they're perceiving themselves to be. you know they say that perception is 80% of the reality. Nah, I actually say it's 100% of reality. But I mean, look at this. Red, red, everywhere, just, simply red, right? And, we're going to see that from time to time. There's going to be some increases on some gains for tomorrow for some stocks. In my opinion, it's going to be those stocks where you're going to carry innovation, those stocks where, they have catalysts such as the COVID-19 data for OCGN as an example, right? That one is expected. They kind of had a soft launch of the data. They're going to have a full launch, that the data should be coming out shortly, and when it does, I expect that particular stock to have some pretty good gains, right? So let's take a look at that one for as an example. So as you can see, it got pretty high here. We have a nice rebound session that we can go ahead and do with this particular ticker. And especially once that data comes out, it's going to be very, very, very pivotal. Now, I'm watching the data very carefully. I'm watching the news being released. So, for your followers there, your subscribers, I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. I'll go ahead and release the news once it's there. But, you know, we got to remember the pre-data is showing us that we have 81% efficiency in this particular COVID vaccine. The Prime Minister of India has already taken that dose, right? And, I think that it's going to be a lot more effective than a lot of people think. And, I also believe that, let's take, for example, Johnson & Johnson. Their vaccine, I believe, is 66% effective. We have 81% efficiency, effective efficiency here. Sorry, and I think that given how efficient the data is going to look is going to have a big, big factor. The fact that Cantor Fitzgerald raised the price target on this particular stock is also going to have a good play into it as well. As investors, we need to remember regarding OCGN that we still have to get, US FDA approval for commercialization in the United States. So, having said that, there's still a lot more that needs to happen with this particular tick in order to get there. What I believe is going to happen is I believe that they're going to release the data. The data is going to be very good. It's going to cause this particular stock to increase very significantly in a rapid rate. We're going to have a squeeze, I believe. And with that squeeze, it's going to send this price to, I believe, anywhere in the realm of $25 to $32 per share. At that point, the company's going to need to go ahead and release a public offering because they need to pay for basically the next set, and that's having the drug approved in the US, and that's going to cost them anywhere between 25 to 35 million dollars US to do that. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to ride the news, release the public offering, and at that point, hopefully OCGN we're going to be able to plow through. I personally believe that they could see USDA approval anywhere from November to February's time frame. Again, that's just a guess. I'm just sharing my opinion here, and that's what I believe around OCGN. Now, the other ticker that I really, really like is KMPH. Now, KMPH, those of you have seen this particular ticker go up in strength recently, and the main reason for that uptake is what's been happening with one of their drugs. So we all know there is a drug out there called Vyvanse. Now, Vyvanse, there's a contract from a drug maker have expiring, I believe it's in 2023. And what Kmph wants to do in this particular drug is they want to go ahead and replace Vyvanse. And they think that they have the drug to do the next paradigm shift. There was once, Ritalin and then Adderall, and then, they created Dexedrine, and then they created Vyvanse, which is, the artificial form of Dexedrine. And, now they're going to create this particular drug here. So they received, the US FDA approval, which is great. And, I expect great things from this stock. The biggest selling tool for this drug is the fact that it has less side effects than Vyvanse. The other, big thing of this particular drug is it has safer side effects and less side effects for children in the data, which is very key, and that's what's going to sell. Any children that have ADHD symptoms or anything like that could have this drug prescribed to them in the future. So, like along Sava, I expect some sort of merger from these guys. I don't believe that they're going to be the one who will do the distribution. I think there's going to be a bigger company coming in there and buying them out, and or the rights to this particular drug, or a partnership, or something like that that's going to send this stock at a higher rate.
I foresee this stock being anywhere in the realm of $25 to $30 a share. I think the recent news that was released regarding the downgraded to neutral status, I mean, you know, it's kind of a catch 22. I think it's just shorter, and they're not in for the long, they're in for the short. And I believe that this stock has a lot of great things ahead. This drug is fantastic and it's revolutionary in its field for ADHD. And it's, at the end of the day, it's safer for kids. How could you go wrong?
Gotta think positive. We gotta remember about the emotional intelligence. We gotta remember about the past. We had that big downswing last March, and there was this big bullish uptake since then. And we gotta always focus on those type of parts in this particular moment. So, you know, good luck for tomorrow. I wish you all the best. Thanks for joining me. If you liked my video, if you liked my insight, please hit like in the video, hit subscribe at the bottom, and we'll see you soon.